The internet has used its internet-like powers to spot a possible appearance of Boba Fett's classic ship Slave One in the latest TV spot for Solo, a Star Wars story. In this video, we're going to talk about all of the evidence that supports Boba being in the movie and speculate on what his role might entail. What's up, Star Wars fans? Thanks for checking out this video. Now, before we get into it, I quickly want to shout out Josh Higdon. Josh got the nerd card question correct in one of my recent Infinity War videos, so shout out to you, Josh. We'll go ahead and do another nerd card question at the end of this video. All right, so let's get right into this. First, I want to explain where all of this is coming from, the shots, and if I buy into it. So this all has to do with the latest TV spot for Solo, a Star Wars story. This shot takes place right after the scene where Han shows Chewie his hand, and we were probably all way too busy laughing at Chewie's reaction to notice the shots directly following it. It is literally just a couple seconds. It appears in that maelstrom, and it seems to be taking place during that space battle, and you can see in the bottom left corner as Han flies by a ship that looks very much like Slave One flying through the clouds. Now, the rumor of Boba Fett being in this film is not a new one. In fact, a couple of months ago, it was really circulating online, and I actually covered it doing a video with James Razile from the Rebels Come podcast. I'll link that video down below. We sort of go into our thoughts about Boba and what he might be doing in the movie. But suffice it to say, guys, this is a heavily rumored fact. For a long time, a lot of people have thought Boba Fett was going to be in this film, and this shot from this trailer just pushes the meter forward on that possibility. Now, something that I went into with James back when we did that video was all of the talk about Josh Trake's Boba Fett movie. So we know that Josh Trake was working on a Boba Fett movie. That movie is no longer going to happen, or at least isn't going to happen anytime soon. Now, what's interesting about that is there was probably a lot of stuff ready for that film that could be used in other Star Wars movies. And I'm not talking about scripting notes or story beats, but I am talking about visual elements, models, concept art, things like that. I mean, this is something that they do a lot over in Lucasfilm. I mean, the fact that Vader's castle on Mustafar was taken from the Force Awakens concept art and put into Rogue One is a classic example. I mean, why would you waste dope Star Wars art created for your movies?
Why would you do that?
You could just utilize it in a different film. I think that's exactly what is going on, at least partially, in this movie, and I want to take our attention to the Dryden Voss character and the Mandalorian armor that we can see in his private chambers. Now, Dryden Voss is the character that Paul Bettany is playing, and he is this gangster that is organizing the crew that I believe will go and do some kind of a heist. This character is supposed to be a very, very dangerous character, possibly even the main villain of the film. He's not to be trifled with, and in his office, we can see a really cool looking set of Mandalorian armor. It's very possible that this Mandalorian armor was taken from the Josh Trank Boba Fett art, or possibly even some models that they made. So I think they could be sitting on a plethora of Mandalorian dopeness that they do not want to waste. Also, a little side Akbar here. I'm really hoping that they explain that that is a relic of the Jedi Mandalorian Wars, because we do know that those were made canon by Star Wars Rebels, but we have never heard about those wars in any of the live action films. So this could be that, and that would just be amazing. Now, as far as what Boba's role could be in this film, I believe he will be hired to track down Han Solo and his crew after Han probably double crosses Dryden Voss and takes the cargo that he was hired to get for himself. I mean, it just makes sense. We really think that this scene is going to be at the end of the movie because it shows Han Solo driving the Falcon, which we know Lando is going to own for at least half of the movie, if not the majority of the film. It also just makes sense that this kind of a space battle would happen towards the climax of the movie. And so for all of those reasons, we're really really thinking that this scene in the storm is at the end of the film. Given Han Solo's nature, it's likely he double crosses the dude that hired him, and then Voss goes out and hires Boba Fett to take Han Solo out. This would create the perfect space storm. You see what I did there? Because it's a storm in space. I mean, you've got the Empire, you've got Boba Fett, you've got some kind of crazy octopus thing, you've got the storm. This is an amazing space battle, and I think it's going to be incredible. So I think that is going to be where Boba Fett comes into the film, and it's possible that he has a couple of scenes earlier in the movie that are more like cameos or passing moments. All right, let's check that nerd card. I want to know, what is the name of Boba Fett's famous blaster rifle? What is the classification and name of that rifle? Answer that question in the comment section below. Feel free to click below to check out more sweet Star Wars videos. We're always doing awesome content like that here on the channel. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video.